know that there's a lot of vehicle plants across Kentucky. I don't know the economy really in Bowling Green area. I don't know the economy in that part of Kentucky, but I do know the economy in eastern Kentucky, an economy that was decimated by federal regulations, an economy or regulations that took jobs from hard-working people in East Kentucky that provided things for their family. And, you know, to hear statements like coal is never coming back and coal is a detriment to our climate change or causes climate change and all that stuff. You know, I'll just invite you to come down to East Kentucky and I'll drive you around. I said that last year. I'll drive you around and show you what the regulations from federal government has done to East Kentucky. Now they get up there in Frankfort and they brag about unemployment rates being the lowest they've ever been and how the utility rates. It's funny. I was listening to President Biden's speech the other night, and he was talking about how utility rates are the lowest that they've ever been, or the lowest in a long time. And as I watched that, I didn't know how to react to it other than to be aggravated, actually, because since the coal-fired plant, the Big Sandy plant, was taken down, our power rates in East Kentucky, and all those East Kentucky legislators can attest to this, that our power rates have done nothing but go up. There's a lady in our church, 74 years old, somewhere around that you know, she's on a fixed income of about $652 a month. Her rent's $250, and her power bill last month was $489. I got a phone call from her this morning. She needs help paying her power bill. That's besides eating, and that's besides medicine. So I've seen firsthand how electric rates go up when coal-fired plants are gone. And on top of all that, our people back home have to pay every month. There's a charge on our electric bill to pay for the demolition of a coal-fired plant. We have to pay for it, not the company, not American Electric Power, not Kentucky Power. We, the customers, have to pay every month a fee for the demolition of the coal-fired plant. Now that's really fair in the economic world, I guess. And then on top of that, they bought another plant over in West Virginia, and we're paying for the purchase of that plant. Coal may never come back like it used to be. But when you talk about, we might as well face it, that coal's not coming back, I want you to think about the 1,300 men that was put out of work in Perry County alone because of coal being decimated. I want you to think about the 1,200 men that was put out of work in Harlan County because the coal industry was decimated by federal regulations. Federal regulations overreached by the federal government, knowing what they were doing to the people of East Kentucky and Western Kentucky. They're taking away our livelihood. They're adding on to the bills and the cost of living. We don't have the cheapest cost of living in East Kentucky. It probably costs more to live in East Kentucky than it does in Lexington. We got people's power bills running $1,100 and $1,200 a month, more than their house payment. I appreciate the gentleman from Webster. I appreciate his work for many years on this issue and his stance for coal in this legislative body. I appreciate Senator Mills bringing forth the legislation on their side. And I would ask you today to vote yes. And I would ask you also that we contact our federal delegation to try to start fighting more for the people of East Kentucky and rural Kentucky and all of Kentucky to help us keep reliable energy that will take care of our people. I'll say one more thing and I'll shut up. When I was growing up, we had a coal stove in the basement of our house. It was Papa's house. We lived with him. He'd had a stroke. My dad had passed away, and we were living with him. And Papa would, every year, we put the coal in the basement. And Papaw couldn't control if the wind was going to blow, and thank God we didn't have the windmills. Papaw couldn't control the sun to keep the solar panels charged up. But Papaw could always say, "Go, son, go to the basement and throw another shovel full of coal in the furnace." And it was always there, and it was always reliable. And in Papaw's house, when you fixed the fire, you had to raise the windows up because he kept it so hot in the house. Coal was reliable. It always will be reliable. And whether you like it or not, coal has always been and will be reliable. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.